The Essential Directorship Masterclass, Achieving Excellence at Board Level. Roles and responsibilities of directors. The board's key purpose is to ensure the company's prosperity by collectively directing the company's affairs whilst meeting the appropriate interests of its shareholders and stakeholders. The board of directors is responsible for compliance and strategy. According to the UK Institute of Directors, the tasks of the board are vision, mission and values, to determine the company's vision and mission, to guide and set the pace for its current operations and future development, to determine the values to be promoted throughout the company, to determine and review company goals, to determine company policies, to set strategy and structure, to review and evaluate present and future opportunities, threats and risks in the external environment, and current and future strengths, weaknesses and risks relating to the company, to determine strategic options, select those to be pursued, and decide the means to implement and support them, to determine the business strategies and plans that underpin the corporate strategy, to ensure that the company's organisational structure and capability are appropriate for implementing the chosen strategies. Delegate to management. To delegate authority to management and monitor and evaluate the implementation of policies, strategies and business plans. To determine monitoring criteria to be used by the board. To ensure that internal controls are effective. To communicate with senior management. Exercise accountability. To ensure that communications both to and from shareholders and relevant stakeholders are effective. To understand and take into account the interests of shareholders and relevant stakeholders. To monitor relations with shareholders and relevant stakeholders by gathering and evaluation of appropriate information. To promote the goodwill and support of shareholders and relevant stakeholders. Responsibilities of directors. Directors look after the affairs of the company and are in a position of trust. The law imposes a number of duties, burdens and responsibilities upon directors to prevent abuse. And the UK Companies Act 2006 introduced a Code of Directors' Duties which applies to all companies. The general duties mean that a director must act in the interests of the company and not in the interests of any other parties, including shareholders. This applies even for one-man companies, which means a sole shareholder or director may not put their own interests above that of the company. So here are the specific requirements. To act within the company's powers, to promote the success of the company, to exercise independent judgment, a duty of skill, care and diligence, to avoid conflicts of interest, don't accept benefits from third parties, declare interest in proposed transactions. So, time to review your roles, responsibilities and risks. What processes does your board have for ensuring compliance with its duties and legal requirements? How much time does the board spend on strategy? Is there a proper balance between establishing long-term vision, medium-term strategy and short-term goals? And on to the next video.